Hello, my name is Kieran and today I'll be showing you how to set up advanced lip sync tracking in VTube Studio. For today's demonstration, we're going to be using Gekobon's little chibi model, drawn by Gekobon and rigged by me. I'll talk more about our models at the end of the video if you're interested. So to start off, we want to double click anywhere in the VTube Studio window. This is going to bring up the side menu, and then we're going to click the pink gear icon for settings. This is going to take us probably to the first tab. If you're not there, definitely click this one to get to the first tab. And then we're going to scroll down until we find our microphone settings. Then we're going to turn it on, use microphone, and there we go. She's already moving. But yours might not be already moving. In fact, all of this stuff may look a bit more like this when you first use it. I'm going to tell you how to fix that. First off, we want to check that we're using the right microphone, so make sure you click this and find your correct microphone from the list on your computer. Then we'll want to start with the volume gain. So if the mouth isn't moving at all, you can see it's moving just a little bit, we're going to want to turn the volume gain up. You can see as the gain goes up, her mouth moves a lot more, and as the gain goes down, her mouth moves a lot less. You can put this anywhere to your preference. I like to have the mouth move kind of a median amount so that when I'm louder, the mouth moves bigger, and then when I'm quieter, the mouth moves a little bit smaller. Volume cutoff is going to be for your background noise. So the higher it is, the more background noise it's going to cut off. But the higher it is, it might start interfering with your actual talking voice. So I recommend if you have a normally loud background room, you probably want around 20. Just experiment and see what you need for your circumstances. The next is going to be frequency gain. So this is going to basically determine the difference between each of the sounds that it's detecting. So I like to have it pretty high up there. This just gives us a lot of different shapes as much as possible. This might also make your mouth open wider than you want, so feel free to turn the volume gain down after turning the frequency gain up, and kind of just mess with these two to see how much shape and wideness you want when you talk at your mic's volume and at your voice's natural volume. Next, we're going to be talking about the Advanced Lipsync actual calibration. So make sure Advanced Lipsync is selected here, and it should bring up this little mini menu down here. Now, a little note about Advanced Lipsync, it will need to be rigged specifically to use VTube Studio's Advanced Lipsync, so make sure this is something that your modeler or rigger knows before you actually get your model done. If your model doesn't have these specific parameters rigged into it, you unfortunately won't be able to use the Advanced Lipsync type, but the simple lip sync should work just as well with regular mouth movements. Just popping in here for a little bit more explanation about how the models are rigged with this. If you're not sure if your model has this, you can go into the parameter settings, which is this icon, and scroll down until you find parameters for voice volume, which is the microphone input, and then the different vowel sounds. If these aren't on your model, then your model is not going to be able to use Advanced Lipsync, unfortunately. Because these are specially rigged parameters. So if you want this done, make sure you tell your rigger beforehand. Or you can always go back and ask them to update it if they want, if they're able to. These are basically the inputs for, the A sound, voice A, and then output will be whatever your rigger named it. So it might not say A, it might say something else. I just made the parameters names just the letters. They should be 0 to 1, 0 to 1. You don't really want to edit this at all if you're the VTuber. The only thing you might want to edit is the smoothing here on these parameters. So if I put the smoothing down, the mouth moves a lot faster with my mic. I like to keep it a little bit up so that it's a cute little bounce, especially the way that I rigged these heads. But you can always turn the smoothing down to make the mouth move a lot faster. It just may look a little bit more jittery, or the smoothing up to make it look smoother, but you might lose some of the range because it's not going to be able to keep up with the movements as much. Typically, people like to have smoothing around like 5 or 10 for most things like this. For each vowel sounds, you can have the smoothing down or up as well. I would recommend keeping all the smoothing on all the vowels the same. So your voice volume can have a certain amount of smoothing, so maybe we'll do like 15. But your vowel sounds should all be the same as each other. So the a, I, U, E, O should all have the same smoothing. I like to keep it at 5, again, just to reduce the jitteriness that can sometimes come with this kind of tracking. So yeah, that's just a little information about the setup and rigging for this model. If you are curious, definitely ask your rigger about it if this is something that you're interested in. But today we're going to be talking about Advanced Lipsync because these chibi models have it specially rigged in. What Advanced Lipsync does is it actually tries to determine which vowel you're making, and your rigger will have made different shapes for each different vowel sound. So as we can see here, the vowel sounds are actually the Japanese ones. So it's a, I, U, E, and O, and then silence. We're going to practice today calibrating all of these because I've seen a lot of people have trouble with that. So first off, we can calibrate the silence in our room. I'm just not going to talk and I'm going to hit calibrate. What this is doing is basically taking a screenshot of this color band here at the top. This is trying to determine what sounds I'm making, and so silence is mostly green. So the silence one should look mostly green for you. If it's not, you may actually want to turn up your volume cutoff so that your silence is really getting you as much silence as possible. Next, we're just going to go down all the vowels and calibrate them one by one. Something important to note is that when you're calibrating, it might be helpful to start the vowel sound before you actually click the button so that it's really getting fully the sound the entire time that it's calibrating. I'll show you what I mean. So we're going to start with A, which is A. So what I did there was I was actually holding the sound, which really helps it take the correct color screenshot. Now, A should always make the A shape on the model. We're going to go down and do it for all of them. E, U, E, O. So U and O tend to look pretty similar. You might have to do these ones against each other a couple times. As you can see, the color bands are pretty similar. So there's like a red and then blue and then red and blue and purples. But hopefully now we should be able to get each different vowel sound when we say it. A, I, U, E, O. A, I, U, E, O. Hello. So yeah, now your model should be making different shapes for each vowel that you are saying, as long as it can detect it. This unfortunately isn't something that your model rigger can set up for you because everyone's voice is going to sound a little bit different, especially on this color spectrum, which is why the calibrate buttons exist. Hopefully this was helpful for you. If you have a model with Advanced Lipsync, definitely ask me any questions you have in the comments and I'll be happy to answer them. Hey, thanks so much for watching the video. If you really like the look of these little chibis or any of the ones shown here, you can get them at any of the links in the description below. They're drawn by Gekobon and rigged by me. They come with mouse tracking and microphone tracking by default, but we can also add some face tracking for just a little bit extra. Thanks so much again, and I hope you have a great day. Bye!